looking almost exactly as we do today. I guess that's because the people you see all the time stay the same age in your head. Dagmar's different, though. She was always the baby, so I see her as a baby. But even Mama, I always picture Mama as around 40. She could have always been 40. Besides us, there was our boarder, Mr. Hyde. Mr. Hyde was an Englishman who had once been an actor, and Mama was very impressed with his flowery talk and courtly manners. He used to read aloud to us in the evenings. But first and foremost, I remember Mama. I remember that every Saturday night, Mama would sit down by the kitchen table and count out the money Papa had brought home in a little envelope.
You call the children, Lars. It's good they should learn about money.
Children! Nels, Christine, Katrine.
You call loud for Katrine. She's in her study, maybe.
She is where?
Katrine make the old attic under the roof into a study.
So. Katrine! Katrine!
Yes, Papa, I heard.
A study now, huh? And what does Katrine study?
I think Katrine wants to be an author.
Author!
Stories she will write for the magazines, and books too, maybe one day.
Is good paid to be author?
I don't know. For books, I think maybe yes. For magazines, I think maybe yes. For books, I think no.
Then she become writer for magazines.
Maybe, but I like she write books, like the ones Mr. Hyde reads to us. Dagmar, you bring that cat in again?
Sure, Mama, she's my Elizabeth, my beautiful Elizabeth.
Oh, poor Elizabeth. Looks as if she has been in fight again.
Not poor Elizabeth, brave Elizabeth. Elizabeth's a Viking cat. She fights for her honor.
And just what is a cat's honor, little one?
Being the bravest cat in San Francisco, of course. Aren't you, Elizabeth?
That disgusting cat.
She's not disgusting. She's beautiful. As beautiful as the dawn.
And when have you ever seen the dawn?
I haven't, but Mr. Hyde read to us about it. Didn't you, Mr. Hyde? Didn't you read to us about the dawn?
I have, my dear child. Rosy fingertipped Aurora.
Mama, when can I ever see the dawn?
Any morning you get up early?
There's a dawn every morning?
Sure.
And it happens every morning? And it's all that beautiful? Why didn't anyone tell me?
My dear child, that is what the poets are for. To tell you about all the beautiful things that happen every day that no one sees until they tell them.
Oh,
Yes.
you go out, Mr. Hyde?
Oh, only for a moment, dear madam, to buy a modicum of the tawny wheat tobacco that I lust after, as Ben Jonson says. I shall return when it's time for our evening reading.
Nils, Katrine, you do not hear your papa call you?
I'm coming, Mama. Move over.
So now, all are here.
Come then. For the landlord.
For the landlord.
For the landlord.
The landlord.
For the landlord.
In all the United
For the
States,
grocer.
no cat
For the
was as
grocer.
brave as
For the grocer.
No, the world,
For the
no cat
grocer.
was as brave as Elizabeth.
Hush, Dagmar, quietly. You put Aunt Elizabeth back in the pantry.
In heaven or hell, no cat was as brave as Elizabeth.
For Katrine's shoes to be half soled.
For Katrine's shoes.
My shoes.
Katrine's old shoes.
Katrine's shoes.
Mama, teacher says that this week I'll need a new notebook.
How much will it be?
A dime.
For the notebook. You don't lose it.
I won't lose it.
You take care when you blow your nose.
I'll take care.
Is all, Mama?
It's all for this week. Is good. You do not have to go to the bank.
Mama, I'll be graduating from grammar school this month. Could I go on the high, Mama?
You want to go to high school?
Oh, I'd like to, if you think I could.
It's good.
It'll cost a little money. Here, I have it all written down. Car fare, clothes, notebooks, things I'll really need. I figured it out with Cy Nichols. He went to high last year.
Get the little bank, Christine.
The little bank. It was by far the most important thing in the whole house. It was a tin we kept for emergencies. Like the time Dagmar got sick and Papa had to go to the drugstore and get medicine for the steam pedal. Smell that medicine now. The most wonderful things came out of the little bank. Mama was always going to buy herself a warm coat out of it, when there was enough. Only there never was.
Well, is there enough, Mama?
It's not much in the little bank now. We give to the dentist, you remember? And for your roller skates.
I know, Mama. And there's your warm coat you've been saving for.
The coat I can get another time, but even so,
You mean Elf can't go to high?
it's not much here. We do not want to have to go to the bank, do we?
No, Mama. No. Say, I could work in Dylan's grocery after school.
It's not enough.
No, it's not enough.
I give up tobacco.
And I can mind the Maxwell children on Friday night. Catherine can help me.
It's good, is enough.
Gee.
We do not have to go to the bank.
Where is the bank?
It's downtown.
What does it look like?
It's just a building.
Like a prison?
No, nothing like a prison.
Then why does Mama say always, we don't want to go to the bank?
Because if we went to the bank all the time, there'd be no money left. And then we couldn't pay our rent. And they turned us out just like Miss Jensen down the street.
You mean it's like saving some of your candy for tomorrow?
Yes, my Dagmar, is exactly like saving your candy.
But if all the other people go to the bank, there won't be any money left for us.
Well, it isn't like that, Dagmar. Everyone can only have so much.
How much?
However much you got there, put away. You see, it's our money that we put there to keep safe.
When did we put it there?
A long time back, I guess. Wasn't it, Mama?
It's enough about the bank.
How much money do we got in the bank?
I don't know. How much, Mama?
Enough. What's the door?
It's the ants. I'm going to my homework.
Then I'm going to my study.
Wait, you cannot run away. We must be polite to the ants. Hi, it's Trina.
Trina? And all by herself?
Say good evening to Aunt Trina, children.
Good evening, Aunt
Trina. Good evening, children. How well they all look. And you, Trina, let me see. You have a feather boa. It's new, beautiful. It was a present. Look, Lars, Trina has a present.
Oh, it's fine.
Jenny and Sigrid, they do not come with you?
No, Marta, I didn't tell them I was coming. I want to talk to you, Marta.
So sit then, I get your coffee and we talk.
Could we talk alone?
Alone?
If you wouldn't mind.
Sure. Children, now you leave us alone for a little, I call you. Dagmar, you go with Katrine.
Oh, but Mama.
Katrine, take Dagmar.
Yes, Mama.
Now, Trina, what is it?
Marta,
Yes.
oh, I can't.
Trina, what is it?
It's something very personal.
You want Lars should go outside?
Would you mind, Lars? Just for a minute.
Oh, no, I go. I know what women's secrets are. As your Uncle Chris say, woman of da.
You have your pipe, Lars.
Oh.
It's fine night.
I forget. I give up tobacco.
Is still some tobacco left in your pouch? Then you do not give up tobacco till you have finished. You give up more tobacco, not tobacco you already have.
Oh, isn't that right, Martha?
Now, Trina, what is it?
Martha,
Yeah? Yeah, Trina, what is it?
I want to get married.
You mean you want to get married? to marry you.
He says he does.
Trina is wonderful.
I think it is.
Oh, yeah. Who is?
Mr. Torkelson.
From the funeral parlor?
Oh, I know he isn't very handsome or tall. I know he's not what most people consider a nice profession.
You love him, Trina. That is good.
Marta, will you help me tell the others?
Jenny and Trina, they do not know?
No, I was afraid they would laugh at me. But if you tell them,
Jenny will not like to tell me first.
I can't help that. You've got to tell them not to laugh at me. If they laugh at me, I'll kill myself.
Trina, no. Jenny and Sigrid will not laugh at you. I promise you, Trina.
And Uncle Chris? Please, Marta, will you talk to him?
It is Mr. Torkelson who must go to Uncle Chris. Always is the husband who must go to head of family.
But Uncle Chris is so frightening. He's so large and he shouts so. And Mr. Torkelson is quite timid, really.
But Trina, if he is to be your husband, he must learn not to be timid. You do not want a husband who should be timid. You are timid. Is not good when both are timid. No. Jenny and Sigrid, I will tell, but it is Mr. Torkelson who must go to Uncle Chris.
What'd I do?
Uncle Chris shouts. We can hear him all the way to the gear.
That was good.
What? Katrina, did you hear that? What, Katrina? I don't want to interrupt your talk, but Jenny and Sigrid are coming.
Oh, dear.
I saw them get off the cable car. They came up the hill.
I think I better go to your room for a minute.
The coffee is ready. I get more cups. Come in.
Hurry up, Sigrid. Hey, Danny. I must catch my breath. That hill kills me every time I climb it.
Yeah, you climb bigger hills than that in the old country.
It was a girl in the old country.
Jenny, Sigrid, Arne is surprised. There's Ole.
Working. He's always working. I never see anything of him at all.
It's good to work.
It's good to see your husband once in a while, too.
Arne, you can go upstairs with your children.
Has Trina been here?
Trina.
She's gone somewhere and she doesn't know anyone but you.
Well, that is what you think.
What do you mean by that?
Give wash your coats. I give you coffee. Then we talk about Trina.
She has been here?
Yes, she has been here.
What did Trina want?
She wants to talk to me.
What about?
Marriage.
What?
Marriage. Trina wants to get married.
Oh, that's no news. Of course she wants to get married. Everyone wants to get married.
No, Jenny. There is someone who wants to marry Trina.
Who would want to marry Trina?
Mr. Torkelson.
Peter Torkelson? Little Peter?
He is not so little.
He's hardly bigger than my Arne, and Arne is not yet 10.
So is Arne bigger than your Arne? Does every husband have to be big man?
Trina's making it up. That's what happens with old maids when they get to Trina's age.
No, Jenny. It's true. Mr. Torkelson wants to marry Trina.
Mr. Torkelson, she'd be the laughing stock.
Jenny, Trina is here. She will come in a few moments. This is serious for her. You will not laugh at her.
I will do what I please.
No, you will not.
And why don't I?
Because I won't let you.
And how will you stop me?
If you laugh at Trina, I will tell her of the time before your wedding, when your husband tried to run away.
What is that? Who told you that?
I know.
It's not true.
Eric tried to run away?
It is not true.
Well, then you don't mind if I tell Trina.
Uncle Chris told you.
Ay, to run away.
It does not matter, Sigrid. Jenny will not laugh at Trina, nor will you. For if you laugh at Trina, I will tell of your wedding night with Ole. Then you cry all the time, and he sends you back to mother.
This I do not know.
There is no need you should know, Lars. I do not tell these stories for spite, only so they do not laugh at Trina. Lars, you called her. You would like more coffee, Jenny? Sigrid?
Rena! Rena!
Oh, I beg your pardon. I was not aware.
Oh, Mr. Hyde, these are my sisters.
Enchanted, please. Welcome, madam. Madam. Ah, the three graces. If you excuse me, I'll be in my room.
So that's your famous boarder. Has he paid you his rent yet? 3 months he's been here, hasn't he?
It's hard to ask. Surely he will pay soon.
Surely he won't. If I ran my boarding house the way you run this place,
And you would always lose your boarders.
if Martha thinks that she's going to get the warm coat that she's always talking about out of that one.
Jenny, Mr. Hyde is a gentleman. He reads to us aloud wonderful books. Longfellow, Charles Dickens, Fenimore Kipling. Ah, Trina, come in. Your coffee is getting cold. I tell them.
Why did you come to Martha first?
She thought Martha would understand.
I'm mistaken, and I married women too.
Well, you've been married longer than Martha. She think maybe you forget.
What sort of living does Mr. Torkelson make?
I haven't asked.
Can he keep you?
I don't think he would have asked me to marry him if he couldn't.
Maybe he thinks you are going to keep him.
Jenny.
Maybe he thinks Trina has a dowry like girls at home.
And why shouldn't I? All of you had dowries.
We were married in Norway, and our parents were alive. Where would your dowry come from? I'd like to know.
From Uncle Chris. He's the head of the family.
And who will ask him?
Don't need to be no asking. When Mr. Torkelson goes to see him,
Uncle Chris will eat him.
Uncle Chris and little baby.
Maybe Uncle Chris will tell Mr. Torkelson some family stories. He knows many, does Uncle Chris?
Where are the children? Aren't we going to see them before we leave?
Of course, I'll call them. Children, you want some evening?
You come with us, Trina.
Maybe Trina like to stay with us and hear Mr. Hyde read. You like Trina?
yeah, if I wouldn't be in the bay, I asked Mr. Torkelson to call for me here. He'll see me home. I'll help with the coffee, James.
Good evening, Aunt Jenny. Good evening, Aunt Sigrid.
Yeah, fair of you all been hiding yourselves.
Boudoir.
Oh, what?
Christine made her little closet into a boudoir. I give her those bead portieres you lend us when we come from the old country.
And what does she do there?
What people usually do in boudoir.
Christine and his room. It is her little place to herself.
Hello, Aunt Sigrid. Hello, Aunt Jenny.
Good evening now. My, how tall he's getting.
Yes, he is almost as tall as his papa.
Well, it looks as though he's outgrown his strength. And Dagmar was looking pale too. Goodness, what a horrid looking cat.
She's not hard, she's beautiful.
It's her new friend. She goes with Dagmar everywhere.
She does. The first thing noticeable I met has sleeping with her.
Oh, Mama, can I?
Certainly not. Don't you know a cat draws breath from a sleeping child? You wouldn't want to wake up some morning smothered, would you?
I wouldn't care. Elizabeth would have all my breath.
I looked.
How can you tell?
Well, you just can.
But how?
Nels, you do not say how.
Anyway, you better think up another name for him.
I won't. He's Elizabeth, and he'll stay Elizabeth.
We could call him Uncle Elizabeth.
Here's that, Elizabeth. Your name's Uncle Elizabeth now.
Such foolishness. Then goodbye, all. Martha, Lars.
Goodbye, Nanny. Siegfried, goodbye, Arnett. Nels, you can tell Mr. Hyde we're ready for the reading now. You take Elizabeth out for the night.
Uncle Elizabeth.
Uncle Elizabeth. Mr. Hyde, this is my sister Trina.
Enchanted.
Mr. Hyde reads to us the Tales from Two Cities, his beautiful story, but sad.
I like sad stories.
Tonight I would like to finish it. Are we ready?
Oh, yes, please, Mr. Hyde.
I think I will begin, yes, from where we left off. In the black prison of the Concierge, the doomed of the day awaited their fate. They were in number as the weeks of the year. 52 were to roll that afternoon on the life tide of the city to the boundless, everlasting sea.
I don't think I shall ever forget that night. It was almost midnight when he came to the end, and none of us had noticed.
It is far, far better thing that I do than I have ever. It is a far, far better rest that I go to than I have ever known. The end.
I wrote in my diary that night before I went to sleep. Tonight, Mr. Hyde finished The Tale of Two Cities. The closing chapters are indeed superb. What a beautiful thing is self-sacrifice. I wish there was someone I could die for. Mr. Hyde wrote us all kinds of stories. He thrilled us with Treasure Island and terrified us with The Hound of the Baskervilles. I can still remember the horror in his voice as he read.
Dr. Mortimer looked strangely at us for an instant, and his voice sank almost to a whisper as he answered, "Mr. Holmes, they were the footprints of a gigantic hound." We will continue tomorrow night, if you're interested.
If we were interested, you couldn't have kept us from it. And it made Mama happy, too, because it meant Nell stopped going nights to the street corner to hang about with the neighborhood boys. The night they got into trouble for breaking into Mr. Dillon's store, he was home with us. And sometimes Mr. Hyde wrote us poetry. The Lady of the Lake and a rhyme of the Ancient Mariner.
About, in the reel and round, death fires danced at night. The waters, like a witch's oars, burnt green and blue and white.
There were many nights I could not sleep for the way he had set my imagination dancing. What a wonderful thing is literature, transporting us to realms unknown. And all the while, my school teacher said that I should write about things I knew. I did write a piece for her once about Uncle Chris, and she said it was not nice to write like that about a member of one's own family. Papa called Mama's Uncle Chris a black Norwegian because of his dark hair and fierce mustache. But there were others in the family who claimed that he was different ways. The aunts scored them.
Black, I'll say he's black. Black in his heart, cursing and swearing.
But Martha says that's because it hurts him to walk.
Gosh, I know all about his limp and the accent back in the old country. But has anyone ever heard him complain? Martha's always making excuses for him.
But he's so good to the children. All the oranges he's always sending them.
Oranges, what good is oranges? Turn them yellow. Besides, that's all he's known to give away anyway. He's got better uses for his money.
What you mean?
Bottles. And that woman he lives with.
He says she's his housekeeper.
Well, he couldn't very well come out and call her what she is, could he? But I will one of these days. And to his face, too.
Yanni, Trina, what you think? What you think Uncle Chris has done now?
But tell us.
You know my Arne's knee. That fall he had 2 months ago? Well, the man at the drugstore said it was only a bruise. But it was hurting him again today, so I left him home while I did the marketing. I asked Miss Schultz next door to keep an eye on him. And who should turn up? Not 10 minutes after I gone? But Uncle Chris. And what you think?
Oh, tell us if you're going to. Don't keep asking us.
He took one look at my Arne's knee, bundled him up into that brown turboed automobile of his, and rushed him straight off to the hospital. I just come from there. And what you think? They've operated! They've got him in plaster of Paris.
Without consulting you?
It seems that the doctor was a friend of his, that's why he did it. No, this time Uncle Chris has gone too far. They wouldn't even let me see my Arne. I'm going to tell Uncle Chris what I think of him. I'm going to tell him right now.
That's right.
Go with me, Annie?
No, I can't leave my baby.
You must, Yanni. We must stick together. And you come too, Trina. You ask about your dowry. Make him give it to you.
Martha says Mr. Torkelson should do that.
Well, then, go and get Mr. Torkelson. Go down to the mortuary and get him right now. Sid is right. We girls have got to stand together.
Nobody knew where Uncle Chris lived. That was part of the mystery about him. He used to roam up and down the state buying up ranches and farms that had fallen to pieces and bullying them back into prosperity. Then he'd sell at a profit and move on again. 2 or 3 times a year, he'd descend upon the city in his automobile and come roaring and stamping into our house.